Hi Pisces, this is your general card reading for August 2018. May or may not resonate with everyone. If it does, great. If not, you can always reach out to me for a personal reading. My email is lucystarot@gmail.com, or you can go to lucystarot.com and click the link from there. Okay, so Pisces, I'm just going to give you a heads up about August. This month is definitely going to be a month of going within, trusting your gut, listening to or enhancing or increasing your intuition, and loving yourself and working on yourself, like just relying on yourself and learning to trust yourself. Put it that way. That's a quick summary for all of it, but I'm going to go down one by one. So, but just keep that in mind, Pisces, because sometimes you guys can be, I don't know how to describe it, but sometimes you have to I think Pisces sometimes need to remind themselves that they are very intuitive, very strong people, and just not to rely on other people for their happiness and their satisfaction. That's what I want to let you guys know. That's just a little reminder. And then these cards are kind of also adding to that. So just going to go one by one. First card that came up is from the Flower Therapy Oracle cards by Dorian Virtue and Robert Reeves. It is Communicate with Your Angels, Bird of Paradise. You have the ability to connect with the beings of love who surround you. Communicate with your angels and deliver their healing messages to others. So, this is a reminder. If you guys haven't been communicating with your angels, then this is a heads up. You need to. What are you waiting for? Type of thing. So, with communicating with your angels, if one good way to do it is to meditate, because when you meditate, you quiet your mind, or or just being like taking some quiet time out for yourself too, because that's when you get messages, especially like intuitive messages can come to you when you are like in a quiet place, or just resting your mind or meditating, things like that. So I'm going to read what the book tells you. It says here, you have angels around you who wish to bring you healing and guidance. We all have the ability to communicate with them, but for some people it is as if they're listening to one radio station while their angels are communicating on another frequency. To tap into divine guidance, you must raise your vibration to match theirs. Their energy, the energy of the bird of paradise will help uplift you and open your channels of communication. Meditate on this flower's image and you'll notice very real sensations as you connect with your loving angels. If you've already been in contact with these celestial beings, this card asks you to take the next leap of faith by sharing the messages you receive with the world. If you feel the presence of a departed loved one, please express this to others. Words cannot convey how profoundly healing this information can be. Call upon the archangels Gabriel and Metatron. They'll help you clear your channels of communication and find the courage to deliver these heavenly messages. Additional meanings could be clear your chakras, begin giving speeches, teach workshops, offer angel and flower readings to others. Your intuition is increasing, or trust your gut feelings. So like I was saying before, like Pisces are very intuitive, and sometimes you guys can get intuitive feelings and gut feelings, but then you don't listen to them. Like, and I know, because I have Pisces friends, and sometimes you guys ignore your intuition when you should be listening to it. But yeah, so this is a reminder for that. Also, if you are getting messages from people in your family who are passed on, I mean, like sometimes I've had this happen to me before, where I get like a dream of people in my family that have been passed on, and I'll share every time that's happened to me. I've always shared it with my other family members, like, oh hey, I had a dream of so and so, or but I think this is also saying that too, if you do experience any of that. This may not apply to everybody, but if you do experience that, like, I guess share that with people that are close to you, that were close to them too, I guess, because sometimes departed loved ones can come in our dreams just to say like hello, or to give us messages, or In some cases, premonitions, like warnings, but you'll know what it means if that does happen with you. Um, but yeah, definitely keep, and especially if you are, one other part I said about raising your vibration. If you guys are low, like vibrating on a low level, like that's not, it's, you're not going to attract, you have to raise your vibration in order to attract better, put it that way. Like if you're like feeling down in the dumps, like, oh, like I'm not happy, or nobody loves me, or I'm a screw up or something, like if you guys have bad feelings about something, whether it's yourself or just the world or anything like that, like you gotta kind of step out of that and raise your vibration. Because sometimes if we're in like a lull, or in like a little funk like that, then we're not going to hear like messages from our angels. We're not. You know what I mean? Because you're too focused on being down in the dumps to hear anything come through. So that's the way I put it. That's the way I phrase it. Hopefully you guys get what I mean. But definitely, yeah, communicate with your angels, raise your vibration, meditate. Take some quiet time if you have to, even if it's just, like half an hour at the end of the day when you come home from work, just to relax and not turn on the TV right away, things like that. So, so that's one. That's the first card. Now the second card, see, these all tie into each other in a way, one way or another. So, which is funny. Like I was saying to Aquarius, I was telling them, like, when I shuffle these cards, I just shuffle them and whatever comes out, comes out. Like I don't sit there and pick, oh, I'm going to give Aquarius this card, or oh, I'm going to give that. No, like I shuffle them, whatever comes out, comes out. But sometimes when they come out and they kind of give the same message, that's, that's like the divine and beyond. They're trying to tell you something. So the second card is from the Guardian Angel Tarot Cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. It is the spiritual teacher. There are great rewards in spending time alone. Use those moments of solitude to focus on love and ways in which you might give to those around you. Shine your light as an example for others to follow. Seek out a spiritual mentor of your own if your life feels unfulfilled right now. I mean, the one thing that I was saying about Pisces, that you guys, because you guys are intuitive, you guys can give good advice to other people. Sometimes you might, it's almost like the practice, not to get down on you, Pisces, but sometimes you don't always practice what you preach. Like I don't know if I'm using the right term. You guys are very intuitive. You give good advice. You know, to your friends, your family, things like that. Like you guys are on point sometimes with that stuff. But then sometimes you guys don't always do the same for yourself. Capricorns are sometimes like that too. I'm a Capricorn, so sometimes I do that too. It's almost like I give great advice to other people, but then I don't listen to my own advice sometimes. You know? But so you guys aren't alone. But that's why I think this card came up. Like you guys are kind of like can be like very spiritual and teachers. You know, when giving advice, almost like to people who need advice. But I'm going to read what the book says, because it does have can have more than one meaning, this card. Seek and ye shall find. You will discover a wonderful mentor or spiritual teacher as you ask heaven for someone who can provide you with wise counsel and loving guidance. Or perhaps it's time for you to step out into the open as a teacher with many spiritual gifts. Don't underestimate the brightness of the light you have to offer others. If you're currently on a quest for peace and enlightenment, do your seeking within. Meditation or time spent in nature can provide great insight. Additional meanings are self-discovery, rewarding time spent in solitude, excellent advice that you should follow, or taking a break from your hectic life. That's the other thing too, is the going within. Like spiritual teacher, I think somebody else got this month, if I'm not mistaken, or last month. Got this card. The spiritual teacher is almost kind of like the equivalent of the hermit, because the hermit stays to himself and goes within to seek wisdom and knowledge and things like that. So it is kind of telling you too, even if you don't, not necessarily that you have to become like a spiritual teacher and give advice to others, but also like, I mean, some of you guys could possibly do that because of your intuitive abilities, and your knowledge and your wisdom. But this is kind of reminding you too to like, yes, take some quiet time, go within, seek, self discovery, things like that. But now tying into the first card, if you go into like solitude, taking some quiet time, then you will be able to hear your angels better too in that time. And of course, if you raise your vibration. So there's a couple of factors put together in this. So, what else about this? Yeah, well, I mean, taking a break from your hectic life. Yeah, that's another thing too. If you are always like, if your life is like hectic and busy, 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 then you don't always hear like your communication from your angels either, too. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying that you should go be a hermit or a monk or a nun or anything like that, like, and hide away somewhere. But no, it's sometimes good to get like, some quiet time to yourself, and just to go within, which kind of ties into the last card, which is self-discovery. I mean, self-reliance, sorry. I'm thinking of the self-discovery that was written on the second card. So, self-reliance, that's from the Healing with the Fairies Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. The card meaning from the book says, you are your own best friend and you can provide for yourself emotionally and physically. Pisces, before I get into the rest of the description, yes. You guys can be very loyal. Sometimes you could be too loyal. And I mean, I know you could say like, well, what's too loyal? Like, how are you too loyal? Sometimes you can be loyal to people that you sometimes shouldn't be as loyal to, or even people that sometimes you outgrow people and they may not be good for you anymore, but then you'll still be loyal to them because you're the ride or die type. You're okay, I've been here, I've known these people all these years, I've known this friend all these years, or I've been with this person for so long. Okay, yes, perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with being loyal, but also you have to sometimes, like the second card said, self-discovery, go within, and also see what's best for you, though. Because you can't always put other people ahead of your needs, okay? And I've noticed that with Pisces, or, friends or people that have Pisces in their chart, like even if you have like Venus in Pisces or Pisces rising or whatever it is that sometimes you guys are so loyal that you put others' needs ahead of yours, but then you end up becoming sometimes codependent on each other in a way instead of being self-reliant. So just keep that in mind, Pisces, okay? Nothing wrong with being loyal. I'm loyal too. I'm Capricorn with Scorpio rising. We're loyal to the max. But then sometimes I've even seen in situations, like especially in my younger years, like, okay, I'm being loyal to this person because I've known them for so long, but are they really giving as much back to me as I deserve, So that's just one example, though. It's okay. So what the book also says is sometimes we feel frightened and want to get reassurance from another person that everything's going to be all right. By drawing this card, you are reassured that everything you need is provided to you. You can rely on yourself and your own spiritual gifts to manifest all that you need in your life. Although your manifestations are the energy of spirit that often funnels through other people, it still originates with your own thoughts. This card also counsels you to filter out negativity that may sway you from listening to your own inner voice. Don't let naysayers talk you out of fulfilling your dreams. You are as qualified and deserving of achievement as any other person. With focused intention and divinely guided action, your dreams are becoming a reality right now. The affirmation for this is, I am tuned into my inner source of direction. I confidently rely upon this inner source to guide me perfectly. So, yeah, definitely Oh, okay. So all three of these are like go within, listen to your gut feelings. The first one said gut feelings. The second one says go within. Self discovery, and now you got the self reliance card. So those all go together like hand in hand. So that's telling you something, Pisces. So you have to listen to your gut. Don't ignore your gut feelings. And don't forget that sometimes we get feelings based out of fear versus our own intuition. So make sure you're deciphering, okay, which one is your intuition talking, your angels telling you stuff, versus like your fears and anxieties talking. So just keep that in mind to make sure that you are listening to the right thing. But yeah, definitely, especially naysayers. Sometimes you have to rely on yourself. This is like a sidebar. I'm going to tell you. Sometimes you have to rely on yourself. If you think that I should be pursuing this career. Oh, I should be doing this, this creative project. People, like, they're not you, so they're not going to know they don't always know what is best for you. Obviously, if you're thinking of doing some kind of crazy stunt and people are telling you no, don't do that, that's dangerous. That's a different story. But if you're thinking of, okay, I want to pursue music, or I want to pursue, a career in, I don't know, whatever it is, TV. You sometimes know what's best for you. So listen to your gut and go within and see what is best for you to do. So there's gonna always be naysayers, especially people who are like, oh, no, that's not possible. I had those growing up so much. Like, not even my family. It was more so like coworkers and stuff. Like, I don't know if they were just like negative or jealous. I think both. But some of them will just be like, will like, poo poo on your idea or your dream just because they're not capable of doing something either. So keep that in mind too, Pisces. So, but that's about it. Sorry, I went over. Usually I'm under 10 minutes, but I've been going over recently. So I hope you enjoy this reading. I hope it resonated with you guys. And, don't forget it is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with everyone. But just letting you know, hopefully it did. If not, you can reach out to me. And I hope you guys have a great August, Pisces. Bye.